Hello, Lacey here. Welcome back to my channel. I am actually super duper excited to be talking today with you about the Affirmators Tarot. This is going to be kind of a first impressions walkthrough of the deck. I have actually quite a lot to say about this, and this deck surprised me. So before I get into that, let me tell you why I got this deck. So if you may have seen on my channel before that I have talked quite a bit about the Affirmators deck. Now this is, I guess, kind of like an oracle deck, and I expected the Affirmators Tarot to be pretty similar to the oracle, but I just thought it'd be really fun to work with them together. But let me give you just a quick overview of what the Affirmators Oracle or the Affirmators deck is like. So the box says 50 affirmation cards to help you help yourself without the self-helpiness. And then it says greater consciousness for those of us who don't live in ashrams. Wisdom from about halfway up the mountain. Cleanse your mind, empower your soul, rule the universe. And magically unlock the power of the universe, kind of. It's got this like irreverent humor, and it's very much meant to be something that's helpful, but is also playful. And I have to say, the production quality of the Affirmators deck is not awesome, and yet I still really love it. Like, you can see the cards, like you can see kind of the white along the edges. Like, the print quality is not great. The card stock is really, really thin. I'm just going to give you a shuffle so you can kind of see it's like really kind of papery. I'm going to do the bridge like sideways like I normally do so you can see it, but it doesn't feel like cards. It almost feels like thick glossy paper. I mean, it is a card. It's not, to be honest. Here's like the Robin Wood. It's like the same thickness as that, but because they're bigger they just feel a little flimsier. Sidewise, the Oracle deck is a little shorter and a little wider than a standard tarot card. And there's 50 of them in here, and the art is this really cute playful style. There's tons of words on the cards, and the messages are just really fun. Some of the cards don't have any messages at all, or sorry, don't have any artwork at all. They're just words. But for example, options. As I open to the abundant possibilities of my life's path, I'm reminded that I always have unlimited options. Life is a buffet, and I allow myself to choose whatever makes me happiest without limiting thoughts like you can't put mac and cheese on your baked potato. So it's always like really fun, but meaningful, right? And I have the Affirmators journal, and it's really, really fun. So I expected the tarot deck to be similar. And it really surprised me. So I'm going to put this deck away and let's get into the tarot deck. So first of all, you can tell that the tone of the deck is going to be really similar. It says for magical guidance from the universe to help you help yourself without the self-helpiness. But can we talk for a second about the gold accent? I mean, I know that the original had that too, but this also had like the weird drawer box that like likes to fall out. Anyways, let's look at the rest of the box. Some reflection required, epiphanies not included. Here it says magical guidance from your spirit therapists. Wiser than friends, cheaper than therapy. And warning, may result in profound personal revelations. So the back of the box says, your belief in magic or even magic is not a prerequisite for taking a spin with the tarot. Pull a random card and reflect on its message, or challenge yourself to read a more complex spread. Either way, you'll get a good dose of age-old wisdom that you don't have to be a wise old sage to interpret. And then there's even an asterisk up here by the magic, and it says, hey, it could be real. But before I even opened the box and noticed all those details, what I noticed was the quality of this box. This box is probably the nicest tarot box I have ever touched, with the exception maybe of the Moonchild box. But it's like a linen finish box. It's really thick cardboard, like you can see just how thick. I mean, like I don't know, it just feels really, really good. And then when you open it up, it opens hinge style. This isn't my favorite type of opening, but I think I prefer it to a slide off lid. It's like my second favorite. I like the kind that wraps around with the magnet, but this is pretty decent. The little guidebook that comes inside is, I noticed right away, it has a sewn binding. Little things like that just speak to quality in a deck. The artwork is really lovely. I'm going to get into the guidebook some more in a minute, but you've got a ribbon to lift out your cards, and you guys, when I first lifted out the cards, I just about lost my mind because they feel so good. So for thickness, let's just take a look. So this is a standard Llewellyn deck. Look at how thick these cards are. But even though they're thick, they're really flexible and they feel like textured as if they have linen on front and back. The backs are just beautiful. Look at the gold. Like aesthetically, this is a really delightful deck to touch. And then just for size comparison, it is bigger, both taller and wider than a standard, this is like a Llewellyn, standard Llewellyn cardstock here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cardstock. This is embossed, like this is textured. Like I can run my finger along and actually feel the cups and the letters. It's absolutely incredible. And the cardstock itself has a texture. Like I've never felt anything like it. I felt linen cardstock, but this feels nicer somehow. I don't really even know how to describe it. But as soon as I touched this, I was like, oh my gosh. And then as I started just quickly flipping through the cards, and we're gonna do that together, I started noticing that this isn't a pip deck, which I thought it was gonna be a pip deck. So we're gonna do a little flip through here. I'm gonna put my, I'm gonna zoom us in actually. So let's just bring this in. And then before we get too deep here, I'm just gonna read you a little intro from the guidebook. Sorry for the camera shake for a second while I make sure that the dang thing focuses. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'll bring us up just a touch. That's a little better. Okay, so in the very beginning of the guidebook, which you have the table of contents here, there's this very beginning intro. How and why does tarot work? Tarot works no matter where you fall on the spectrum of magical belief. If your hair smells like Palo Santo and you own a cat that's named after an herb, read explanation 1. If you've ever used the term hippie as an insult and would define your personal brand as unwavering cynicism, skip to explanation 2. If you don't know your rising sign but do find Harry Potter entertaining, read both. Explanation 1. The way it works is simple. Your higher self and spirit guides, which exist beyond third dimensional limitations, draw you energetically towards the cards that are relevant to the issues you're currently facing. Personal advice from an unseen realm. The way it works is simple. This is number 2. You randomly pull a card and its description is a jumping off point for personal reflection, like therapy with props. Brilliant. Like, brilliant. It goes into how to use your cards. A little bit about layouts and about the deck itself, talks about the elements, and then you get right into the cards, and the card descriptions are just as cheeky and fun and playful, but also just as meaningful, and there is an affirmation for every single card. So I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to get into the actual artwork itself. So we have our Fool. And we have the symbols we need here. We have the traveling lightly. We even have the little dog companion down here. The Magician. I love this High Priestess. Empress. And the artwork, you know, I thought it was going to fall a little flat. Like this was just going to be an animal deck. But you really have lots of symbology visually. You have lots to look at visually in the cards to help you with the meaning. It's not just like a deck of animals, which is really what I thought it was going to be. But I wanted it anyways because I was like, well, I have the Oracle or the Affirmators deck and I love it. Hierophant. I cannot get over how cute this Lovers is with the 2 otters side by side. I just love it. The Chariot. Strength. I love the bold colors. I love the playful art style. I keep thinking I'm grabbing 2 cards. The Hermit, as a hermit crab, is like perfect. The Wheel. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death. Temperance. I love these characters, and when you read the entries in the guidebook, it's so clever the way that this deck is put together. The Tower. Even though this deck has a playful vibe to it, it's not at all like nice washed. The Star, at least in my opinion. The Moon. I love this winky face. The Sun. It definitely tackles the difficult stuff, right? It just gives you an empowering message about it. Okay, I've got to show you this a little closer. I mean, depending on your screen, you might be seeing it well, but look at this little rat. He's climbed this mountain and he's just getting looked down on by the sun. It's the cutest image. Oh, I just love it. The World. And now we're into the Wands. Ace of Wands. The Two of Wands. Look at this guy looking through his spyglass. It's so perfect. The Three of Wands. The Four of Wands. Turtle on his back, taking a little rest. The Five of Wands. I love these dragonflies just having their little battle. The Six of Wands. The Seven. So you can see there's a lot of traditional imagery here. Okay, you guys know I love this Eight of Wands so much. And the message in the guidebook is just fantastic. Definitely about harnessing that energy. Nine of Wands. The 10. It doesn't feel like an animal deck. It just feels like an Affirmators deck. I wish I could describe just how pleasantly surprised I am by this. I mean, I'm doing my best, but Page. It was such a wonderful surprise. Look at this red panda as the Knight of Wands. The Queen. This Walrus King cracks me up. He's great. Okay, my favorite suit, and it did not disappoint. The Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. I love seahorses in love imagery because their story is so sweet. The Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. This bird with its head in the sand just is so perfect for the Four of Cups. It's fantastic. The Five of Cups. I do wish a couple of these cups were not spilling. That's one thing I'm kind of missing from this image. But you still have all of this good stuff happening around it. The Six of Cups. The Narwhal for the 7. This is another fantastic one. Just love it. All these dreams and images. It talks about getting grounded. The Eight of Cups. I should read the guidebook on this one. It doesn't speak immediately to me about leaving, which is usually what I like to see in the Eight of Cups. So I'd be interested to see what it says. I haven't read that entry. The Nine of Cups. The Genie. Look at these jellyfish. This jellyfish family in the 10 of Cups. It's so cute. The Page of Cups. It's got this paintbrush and paint cup. The Knight of Cups. Come on. The Queen of Cups. The King. And now we're into the swords. The Ace of Swords. Indecision in the Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Look at these sad, grumpy frogs. So great. Meditating Bengal tiger in the Four of Swords. I love this Five of Swords. It's like a porcupine, but he's also got swords coming out of his back, like to attack. It's like defensive to the point of attack, right? Like he's prickly for sure. The Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. We get a little nod to sort of Marseille positioning. And this might have been one of the cards I first saw that made me think this might be a Pip style deck. But like, look at this like Weasley guy. So great. The Eight of Swords. The 9. Aww. The 10. I read the guidebook entry for this and it's fantastic. Talks about rock bottom and Page of Swords. With the books. Fantastic. The Knight of Swords. The Queen. The King. And now we're into the Pentacles. 2. I love this, like, cheerleading pyramid, helping each other to accomplish their goal. I love that. In the 3. Oh, this hippo with his coins in the 4. The 5. We've got this little, like, koala dude, and he's pulling out his pocket and it's empty, and he's kind of bummed out, right? Gets the message across. The 6. This would be a wonderful deck for somebody who is new to tarot. 7 of Pentacles. The messages are really accessible. There's no images here that are super terrifying to look at. The 8 of Pentacles. I love this, like, lemur, and he's doing this, like, kung fu. It's awesome. The 9 of Pentacles. And I think this would be a really wonderful deck to just work with, single card draws and read with, but you could just whip this out if you know the meanings, you know, and you are comfortable with the way that these images depict the meanings, which I very much am. You could easily pull these out and just do a spread with them. But the guidebook and the way it's written is so wonderful and so charming. The Knight of Pentacles. The Queen. The Kangaroo. And the King. Again, they're just a joy to touch. I wish I could describe this cardstock, but I don't have any other deck that has cardstock like this. Okay, I'm going to zoom us out. We're going to do some shuffling now that I've walked through all the images. Woo! And just see how it shuffles. I've been dying to shuffle this deck, but I wanted to show you guys all the cards first. Oh my gosh, look at that mix. Oh, wow. Okay, I know it's a little bit geeky of me, but I really love good cardstock, and this just feels really, really good. They're not at all stiff. They are big, but I have larger hands, so that's okay. Oh, they're so fun to shuffle. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to hit it with some sage. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have to do my thing here because I meant to do this before we started flipping through, but I'm going to hit it with some sage and some Palo Santo. Just give it a little cleanse. Put my own little stamp on it. And okay, that's perfect. And we're gonna shuffle one more time, and then we're gonna draw a card, and I'll read you what the guidebook says. Oh, okay, one more shuffle. I can't even with this cardstock though. Oh. All right, we're gonna cut it right there. And we drew the sun. So let's have a look in the guidebook and you'll get a feeling for the way the guidebook is written. I'm absolutely head over heels for the guidebook. All right. Oh, the sun, the glorious sun. Dust off the deck chairs and find a lanai. The sun just rolled up with 1,000 beam entourage. This card is a metaphysical summer's day and signals success, wealth, radiance, energy, unlimited positive harmonic encouragement from the universe. You know, the usual. But enough talk about sunshine. Time to get out there and enjoy its rainbow droppings so that you can have some real life radiance to talk about later. And the affirmation, which is a classic hallmark of the Affirmators deck. I bask in the unconditional positivity that shines on me now and use it to energize all of my endeavors. How's that for a renewable resource? So fun. I cannot believe, so this is going to be a really, really fun deck to work with. I'm probably going to be working with this deck in November after all of my Halloween decks have had their turn, as through October that's where I'm going to be focusing my energy, but I am really excited to work with this, and I will of course be pairing it with the Affirmators deck, and I'm really, really looking forward to putting it through its paces and just seeing how it functions as a deck. But I will tell you, just when it comes to like laying out the cards, I feel like you get some really easy to read intuitively imagery here. Like, I feel like there's just a ton to work with. And I wasn't expecting that out of this deck. I really thought it was going to be more pippish, require me to lean into my own known meanings of the cards. I didn't realize that it was going to have so much to offer directly, and I could not be more pleased. My incense is going a little crazy. Let's move that. So I just wanted to share this with you. I am really excited, and this is available mass market, so it just released. You should be able to get your copy. And I really look forward to hearing what you guys think. Do you like it? Is this one that you would pick up? Is this your aesthetic, or is this a little bit not quite what you want it to be? What do you think? And I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you all again very soon. Remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the other side. Talk to you later. Bye!